We are all God's works in progress. Are you ready for some good news? God has done a marvelous thing in you, but He isn't finished yet. Paul's message to the Philippians assures that the best is yet to come when Paul writes, "I'm sure of this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ." Philippians 1, verse 6. Most of the time we grow frustrated over the unfinished business of life. Isn't there something in you that yearns just to be finished with something? It seems like most everything's unfinished. Some years ago, as we prepared to move, I hired a couple teenagers to help me clear out the massive overstuffed attic in which we'd been accumulating junk for 16 years. I thought we'd never finish. Childhood toys and clothes and nicks and knacks and moldy furniture and broken lamps and boxes and crates, all this junk. At first I tried to go through it meticulously to make sure we didn't give away something of real value. But when it seemed that it would never end, I became more generous toward the giveaway pile. One of the young men picked up an item and said, "Pastor, do you want to keep this?" And I grimaced. I remember saying, sweat rolling down my neck in the hot attic, and I declared, "If it isn't a solid gold brick, I want you to get rid of it. I just want to get finished." We want to get finished with something, but most of life is unfinished business. And I want to suggest that really, that's great news. In my younger years, I enjoyed painting landscapes and paintings of animals, and one painting, though I started over 30 years ago, remains unfinished. It's my famous acrylic rendering of the horse in the mist. It started as a horse in a field, but there was clearly something wrong with my horse. And so to hide some of the horse's abnormalities, I decided to add a beautiful mist rising from the field around the horse's hooves. The mist looked even better than the horse, so I added more mist. And eventually the painting became more misty than it was horsey. But I have declared it an unfinished product because as long as it's unfinished, I figure it can be improved. Though we crave to get things finished and it's frustrating to face so much unfinished business, it's a marvelous piece of good news that you and I are unfinished. There's a good work going on in you by the Spirit, but it's not finished. God isn't finished with His work of grace in you. And if you ever become elated thinking you've arrived, you won't find your elation lasting too long. And I want to say this growing and changing and improving is actually what makes life wonderful and adventurous. You're not all that you will be, and that's the gospel. Well, that's today's good news. You can get more like it by clicking right here. Better yet, start out every day with good news. Subscribe to this channel and make sure that you get every day started with the good news of the gospel.